host, and we're going to kind of drive you all through this show tonight. Okay, you guys ready? Yeah. All right, give us 1 second.
If you have phones, turn them off or turn the volume down so they won't interrupt people. And also just enjoy the show. I'm a New Orleans Easter. I've been here for a long time, and I'm really happy to be here for Bayou Phoenix. So you all just find your seats, sit down, get comfortable. And
okay, you guys ready? Again, my name is Glenn Boyd. Let me say that I am thankful to be found here in the house of the Lord, where prayers can be heard and what? Mercy can be found. Again, I'm here with my co-host, the lovely Sally Ann Roberts, and we're just here again to keep the train moving. I don't know about you, but I'm excited about this. I really am. Troy asked me to do this, and I'm very kind of particular in the things that I take part in, but I believe in this project. I was a reporter here a number of years ago, and certainly remember we had Jazzland. I remember doing the opening day out there, and it was absolutely exciting. You know, this is not about New Orleans, not about Uptown, this is not about Lakeview, this is not about Algiers, but this is about what? This is about New Orleans East. So, again, I'm glad to be a part of this program. This is informational, and I've learned a lot here early today. We were here early this morning going over the slides and stuff like that. It's not so much because Troy's a good friend, but I really do believe in this project. So much for this area, for the city, and our region as well. Well, we've got to pull together and make it all happen.
Amen.
All right?
Amen. I raised my family in New Orleans East. I've been in New Orleans East for 45 years. I was there when we were skating in the Lake Forest Mall. Yes, and people came from all around to go to Lake Forest Mall, and we had a lot of development going on in the area. And I believe we could be on the brink of a new day. And I know we have some praying people here. And we've got the prayer in chief, and his name is Senior Pastor Fred Luter. If you will come forward now,
Thank you, Sally Ann. Thank you, Glenn. I want to welcome all of you to Franklin Avenue Baptist Church. Hopefully it's not your last time here. We're here every Sunday morning at 9 o'clock, and we'd love for you, if you don't have a church home, we'd love you to come in and worship with us here on Sunday morning. I'm so honored to host this event tonight. We're honored as a church family. I'm excited about what you're going to hear tonight, what you're going to see tonight, and I just want to open us up in prayer, and then we go on with the program on tonight. Father, thank you and praise you for this day that you've made. We're going to rejoice, and we're going to be glad. And thank you for Sally Ann. Thank you for Glenn. And thank you, Lord, for everyone on this program tonight. Thank you for the New Orleans East community, God, and for Troy Henry and his team, God, and this project that we will be bringing to the Six Flags site, God. I pray you'll bless our meeting on tonight, that it'll be a respectful meeting, it'll be an informational meeting, and that will be a meeting that all of us will be excited about to see what's going to happen in this New Orleans East community. Thank you all for all the pastors, all the churches, all the community leaders, and all the residents of this area. We give your name all the praise, the glory, and the honor for all that you've done, what you're doing right now, what you promise you will continue to do. In Jesus' name, amen. All right, let's get this started.
Amen.
It's all about technology, guys. The Bayou Phoenix team wants to hear from you. At the end of the presentation, we will bring up all of our speakers to answer as many questions as possible. Now simply scan the key QR code on the screen or on the poster to access the link. Here you can ask questions, comment, and respond to the polls after each session. You will see this screen each time we would like your feedback, right there, okay? Now if you would prefer to jot your question on the index card, you can pick it up at the door, and please raise your card at the end of each session, and the ushers will collect them for you. Everybody got that? All right.
Okay, and this is an opportunity for you to get questions answered. And it is also an opportunity for us just to celebrate our community. And we'd like all the public officials who are here in this sanctuary to please stand up so we can recognize you. All the public officials. And we'd also like to ask those who are part of the clergy to stand to be recognized. We need praying people around here. And we'd also like to ask that anyone who is representing a community organization, that you please stand to be recognized. Wow! Woo! New Orleans Youth Matters in the house. Oh, praise God. We are very fortunate to have with us Congressman Troy Carter. And we want to have Congressman Carter to come forward and, no, I'm sorry. I'm thinking of Congressman. He's not able to be here, but we have other people who will be here as well, who are here to speak. And Councilman Oliver Thomas, would you please come forward to be recognized?
I want to welcome everybody to the New Orleans East. We want to welcome everybody to the city, to New Orleans East. And if you don't know where you are, let me explain. When Fred Lute and I were little boys, right? Our family could never afford to take us on vacation, Bishop Love, but we could always take trips to the East. When we were kids growing up in the lower 9, right? Growing up in little homes and little apartment complexes, I'll never forget when my mother, we lived in a 1-bedroom, and that 1-bedroom, Pastor Richard, was for my mom and dad. We lived in the other parts of the house, right? But we could visit people in Black Mecca who had, not only where people had their own room, but they had a front yard, a backyard, and a porch. That's a porch for you proper people. That was New Orleans East. And for those of us who understand our community, even though we appreciate visitors, but when you from here, right? When you generations deep, you know this is a place with 7,000 acres of developable business park. You know this is a place with 9.5 miles of waterway. 5 of those 9.5 miles are beachfront. When you from this place, when you from here, here for you proper people, you know this is a place with 27 subdivisions of the highest African American earners of any municipal district in the Gulf South. When you from here, you know there's 2 of the busiest waterways in North America, the intercoastal and the industrial, where most of this country's commerce passes through. When you're from here. But also when you're from here, you know that for the last several decades, there wasn't a problem using tax incentives and tax breaks to underwrite developers by the riverfront or downtown. When you're from here, we know there wasn't a problem using TIFs to create housing and economic development along the riverfront. When you're from here, Will, like we are on the lower 9, we knew there wasn't any problem subsidizing almost $1 billion to build a medical complex in the middle of downtown. When you're from here. But when you're from here, you also know God ain't making no new land. He's not making any new land. Guess where all the new land is? Guess where the largest wildlife refuge in North America with 240 bird species, with the most beautiful migration period of any wildlife refuge in North America. Guess where it's at? Guess where it is? I'm gonna tell you, it's in New Orleans East. Guess where one of the first festivals where they told us people would never come, even though the jazz festival, the first jazz fest only had 20 people, Tangent. But the first New Orleans festival had 3,241 and a half people. So All we want to do is offer where we're from to save this city. If we had done it before, we wouldn't be riding a one-trick pony called tourism. If we had invested before, we would have a footprint where there's economic development and opportunity that's spread all across this place. If we had done it before. Well, guess what? We're doing it now. We're doing it now. And for all of us who are from New Orleans East, I also got a copy of the crime map, y'all. The new crime map? Guess where the safest place in the city is? You can't talk about us anymore. You can't stereotype us anymore. You can't run down the property out here so you can come get it like you did in Central City when they said nobody will ever live in Central City, but go try to buy something in Central City now. And it's not going to be taken, and it's not going to be redeveloped unless we here. Love y'all. Welcome to New Orleans East.
Whoa, let's hear it again for Councilman Oliver Thomas. And I see the councilman from District D, Eugene Green, is here. If you'd like to say a few words.
Yes, right, like it's a good idea for me to follow Oliver Thomas. I'm going to keep it brief because Councilman Thomas said it all, but I'm pleased to have the opportunity to work with Councilman Thomas, and I want to congratulate him, the Bayou Phoenix team, and all of the residents of New Orleans East and of our community for coming together behind this project. It took a lot of work involving the community, a lot of emails, a lot of meetings with the Industrial Development Board, a lot of meetings with other organizations to make this a reality. And I'm here today to celebrate with this community because this community is so important to New Orleans in general, but I'm just here to celebrate today with you all. I'm pleased to represent District D, which includes a little bit of New Orleans East that we're working on, but the most important thing is what a great development this is going to be for the entire region happening right here in this community. The entire region. So I'm honored to be here on this evening, and once again, it's important to recognize when people such as Troy Henry, who has gotten a lot of attention and deserves that, but there's a lot of team members behind him who are making this happen. It's important to recognize the great things that are happening in our community. This is a great development. I'm looking forward to participating in whatever way I can as a member of the New Orleans City Council. But to all who are here and to all who are involved with making this happen, congratulations and thank you.
Standing in for the mayor is the Director of Economic and Development, Jeff Schwartz. Are you here, Jeff? A word from Jeff, representing the city. Jeff Schwartz, everybody.
Thank you, everybody. Good evening. Hey, Tangi. Yep. I will definitely not stand in the way of the great show that's here tonight, but I do want to say a few things. One is I'm not the mayor of the city of New Orleans, in case you couldn't tell that, but I am here representing her in the administration, and I just want to say how, one, excited we are to be here, and also express my gratitude because I think the council member said it. There was a whole lot of people that did a whole lot of work for a very long time to get us here today. And first and foremost among that is all of you, the folks in the audience here. Yes, that does deserve a round of applause. When I joined the administration about 3.5 years ago, one of the first things the mayor told me was that we were going to get this solicitation out the door. Because we know that even though my office issued a solicitation a little over 2 years ago, the work on this has been happening for over 17 years, right? We know that this has been a very, very, very long time coming. I see you, Ernest. I know you've been there, and Doc. And so, you know, I think that we got to recognize that even though it took a little longer to get to this point than we wanted to after the solicitation concluded with the exciting selection of the Bayou Phoenix team, we know that all good things we're doing take their time, and we are, as an administration, completely set on making sure that this project is successful. So I'll end there. There's a lot of work to be done, but I want to express my gratitude to the council members with their leadership, to the mayor with her leadership. I think this is a can that's been kicked down the road for a long time, and she made sure that we got to this point, that we got it done. My gratitude to the BAYOU Phoenix team for gritting and bearing it. I know it wasn't the easiest, but I know that this is going to be a partnership to last. We're really excited for the things to come. And I would also be remiss, the Industrial Development Board, and I know we have some board members in here, they were excellent stewards of this property for over 13 years. I think we all know how challenging it is to maintain blight and vacancy in the city so that it doesn't become a nuisance. And they maintained this property through thick and thin, through a whole lot of ups and downs, and made sure that this site didn't become even more negative eyesore in the community. And then lastly, I want to thank the NORA team, which is here, Brenda Brose, Ed Knudsen, and others, yes, who has really risen to the charge. They are going to be the public stewards of this property for longer than any of us in this building are going to be alive. For the 99 years and beyond that this project is operating, they are going to be the entity that is carrying the mantle and making sure that this project is everything we want it to be. So I'll end there. Again, my gratitude, thank you all, and it's going to take all of us rolling up our sleeves to do this. So I'm looking forward to working with each and every one of you. Thank you.
Before we move on, we have a special recognition. We want to ask Councilman Green and Oliver Thomas to come back up right quick.
We want to recognize these stellar young people who, yes, are our future leaders. We have 3 outstanding NORD youth teams, and please welcome and congratulate the NORD Commission Boys 8U All-Star Mini Basketball Single A National Champions. Basketball team, come forward. And the 10U Boys AAA runner-up mini basketball national champions. All of you come forward. This is our future. Our future. Standing ovation for these wonderful young people and their coaches who put in their time to work with our future leaders. God bless you all. Oh, yes, let's remember our parents. All right. Thank you all. All right, I hope everyone took those pictures because you're looking at future stars right here. You're looking at stars.
Everybody good?
All right. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for being here. God bless you and you. Yes, bless you. Thank you, coaches. Appreciate it. Keep up the good work. Thank you so much for being here. God bless you.
Thank you, guys.
All right.
And another round of applause for these young people who are making, and their coaches and their parents, all those who are responsible for the future of our city and this nation. And now it is my pleasure to introduce the person who has been behind BAYOU Phoenix from the very beginning, Troy Henry. Sorry about that. Troy Henry. Troy Henry is managing partner of Henry Consulting. Troy is the managing partner and financial principal fiduciary of Henry Consulting. He is a managing member of several HC equity ventures, including BAYOU Phoenix LLC, a real estate redevelopment partnership, and Equity Media LLC, a New Orleans-based media services company. Let's hear it for WBOK 1230 AM, the station you listen to all day long. Through Troy's leadership, HC continues to be one of the fastest growing enterprises in the southern region and one of the largest Black-owned enterprises in the state of Louisiana. Troy Henry holds bachelor degrees from Stanford, master's degrees from Carnegie Mellon University, and Troy Henry is a St. Aug graduate.
Thank you, Sally. I want to bring up my two partners. And one of y'all introduce? Oh, you're going to introduce? Okay, great. All right. So I'm just going to stay here and watch you. We really rehearsed this well, y'all can tell that, folks. All right. You introduce them?
I'm introduce them.
What do you do?
Do your thing. I'm introduce
We do
them.
it together. Okay.
Okay, go ahead. Go ahead. All right.
This is my business partners on the BAYOU Phoenix project, and I couldn't pick a better group of gentlemen. And this is Thomas Toubre and Michael Toubre. And if you want to know the backbone of this development and the future of this development, it really all lies with these two gentlemen here, because they really are just stewards of this community and really want to make sure that New Orleans East thrives. So I'm honored to be in business with those guys. And I want them to say a couple words, and then we're going to kind of get started with the show, really.
So I'll take that. We just want to thank everybody for coming out. We're super excited for this this long-awaited development, and we look forward to getting the ball rolling on the real dirty work.
They normally keep me in the back of the room, and that's room, Oliver, for most people not from here where all the work happens. But tonight they told me I needed to put on a nice jacket and come out and say hello. So now we're looking forward to getting to work. It's going to take, like Jeff said, rolling up some sleeves. So nothing happens overnight, but we will be working. So thank you guys.
Thomas is the guy you're going to see on the dump truck, on what you call those things, the dozers and all that stuff. That's what he likes to do, you know what I mean? So, but they're great. Most of y'all familiar with their project on Lake Forest, the project they just completed there? Outstanding. The Senior Living Center, outstanding. Right? So anyway, we'll get started with the program. So can I get you to go to the next slide? So we'd like to also take this point in time to recognize a couple of our teammates, hopefully that are here in the audience tonight, but we made a commitment in our proposal to the DBE community and disadvantaged business enterprise community. So for those businesses that are represented here, and you see their logos up there, I'd just like for you to stand and be recognized, because the work, these are guys about to get a lot of work, about to do a lot of work. Excellent, excellent. Next slide. So let's get started. We're going to talk about first what this project is and what it isn't. So the current site that you see here is what we're going to focus all of our time, effort, and energy on, okay? Most of y'all are familiar with it. You see the old rides that are represented there. But what you're also going to see is where our focus lies. Next slide, please. This is what it means. There are actually two parcels that are part of this deal. The one to your right, there's one with the BAYOU Phoenix logo on it, and then there's the one in the center where the rides are. Our focus today, and what we made the decision, me and my partners did, was that we're going to focus on the center item, the BAYOU Phoenix item. That's about 165 acres. Everything you're going to see here today is focused there. The other parcel that is the BAYOU Phoenix is we're going to use it for expansion purposes. Many of you have heard us talk about a distribution center. Well, the market has sort of changed after COVID as it relates to distribution centers. So we want to let the market settle out to determine if that or other opportunities may present themselves. But I think once you see what we're doing on the main portion of this, you'll be plenty excited enough when you see that project and what's going to evolve from there. Those two yellow parcels there we do not own. We're going to work with the city to hopefully acquire those so we can have a continuous contiguous 300 acres, but that's a whole nother step of the process. So, next slide. So what we also wanted to do is, you remember in our original proposal, we talked about Eastover and redeveloping the Eastover Golf Course. Well, the Eastover neighborhood still has some steps that they have to go through from an ownership standpoint of the property. We are still committed to that happening in a future phase as well. Once they sort of get the things that they need, they know what they need to do to get together before any development effort at the golf course and additional homes can occur. They've got some steps that they have to take. So in this phase, we're focused on that one parcel that I told you about, but we haven't forgotten about any of the other parcels as part of this development. Next slide. So, what have we done so far? This is the big question most people want to know is, we haven't just been waiting to negotiate an agreement with the city. We actually have done a number of feasibility studies. We put a lot of money into this project so far. And it's these guys and my company have put up a lot of money already just to get to this point. And we did it on faith. We did it on faith that we would be able to reach an agreement with the city. And we did it on faith because of our commitment to New Orleans East and our commitment to this vision and this project as it goes. So the first thing we did is some feasibility studies. You're going to hear the results from those feasibility studies. You're going to hear from some of the world's experts on the various discipline areas that we're talking about. Most of you have heard what the components are of this development. You're going to hear from the experts on why we picked them and why we've stuck with the elements of this development because of the information and the research that the experts have given to us. We've also done some assessments. Our two Grays have led a team with environmental assessments and demolition assessments and all of the stuff that you got to kind of do to get ready before we get a final deal there. And then we've also been traveling all over the place. We've been doing the conferences and learning. That's been mostly me. Conferences and meetings and meeting with companies and things of that sort. Spent a good bit of time just doing it so that we could get our arms around the vision for this project. And then we've been negotiating with the city, as Jeff indicated, so that we could reach a definitive agreement, which we have done. So the definitive agreement is a two-step process. The first one, we have executed a cooperative endeavor agreement or development agreement. That is done. The second step of that is to execute a lease. We had three items that we had to do in order to sign the lease, so that we could present it to the NORA board, New Orleans Redevelopment Authority board, and they would authorize the staff of NORA to then sign that lease. So those three things were, one, to produce a master plan, where you're going to see that tonight. The second one is we had to produce an economic feasibility analysis. You're going to see that also, the results of that tonight. And the third one was to have a public meeting where we solicited input from you, the public, to make sure that this met the mark for what the community wanted, as well as the vision that we had as a business. So one of the reasons that you're here is we need you to participate. And you heard Glenn talk about the QR code and ability to interact with. We're going to have some polling, and we're going to ask you to submit questions. We're going to ask you to submit your opinions on things. We really want your feedback on that. So the last thing that I want to tell you is that as we go forward, the primary source of information that's related to contracting, as it relates to business development, as it relates to employment, the BAYOUPhoenix.com site will be the primary site for you to go to for information on a whole bunch of different items. Now, some of the charts you're going to see here tonight are a little tough to read. Have no fear. Everything that you're going to see here tonight, not only is it being live streamed, and you'll see the recording of that, but also every presentation chart will be on the website tomorrow, BAYOUPhoenix.com. So if you want to study it, and, go through more detail with it and spend time, because these guys, the experts, are going to kind of whiz through their presentations, but you'll get the essence of the message. And so with that, I just want to kind of get it kicked off and make sure that you remember it's BAYOUPhoenix.com. Okay, so with that, I just want to say thank you, y'all. We got it all, so thank y'all very much, and let's get the show started.
We got a lot of territory to cover tonight. Do you want to hear about the sports and recreation plans for Bayou Phoenix? We've got the man here who's going to break it down for us. His name is Norm Gill. He is the managing partner of Pinnacle Sports. This consulting business is focused on the development and operations of indoor and outdoor sports complexes and is engaged in public-private partnerships with cities and counties for the development and operation of publicly owned sports assets. I introduce to you now, Norm Gill.
Good evening.
Evening.
So I'm located in Louisville, Kentucky, which for most of the country would be considered in the South. Apparently that doesn't play well here. Just don't please call me a Yankee. So we have been asked to present the sports and recreation portion of this project. Next slide, please. As Councilman did point out, a lot of the East is much more than tourism, and I'm going to introduce some facts about tourism. So sports tourism is a $40 billion with a B industry in this country and growing. It took a little setback during COVID, but it has come back strong and is in fact increasing. It represents some 175 million travelers around the country. And I think this project is set to take advantage of that growth. Next slide, please. This facility will be one of only a handful of true total experience facilities in this country, where tourists will come, where locals will come and spend time and enjoy all aspects, not just the sports. It gets stated in names like Sandusky, Ohio, the Dells in Wisconsin, and even a little park down south in Florida called Disney South. Next slide, please. We executed a feasibility study in 2022. We talked to tons of tournament promoters. We talked to national governing bodies. We talked to a great deal of event folks outside of sports. We surveyed what we call the travel donut, which is a 1 to 5 hour geographic area that people will travel from and then spend the night. And that represents some 10 million people. So there's quite an audience out here that can make their way down to this park. Excellent. This is the fun part. So we are proposing a 30-acre outdoor complex that will have both rectangular sports as well as diamond sports. Rectangular sports will allow for soccer, lacrosse, football, rugby, combines, etc. The diamond sports obviously will be baseball, softball, at all levels, at all skill sets, travel, rec, a lot of girls fast pitch, softball and collegiate softball, all of which is an effort to bring folks to town to spend the night, spend their money. Next slide. The indoor facility will be is planned at 185,000 square feet. And to give you some relevance, that's a little over 4 acres under roof. I'm going to go to the next slide, which gives some of the details, please. So the proposed, and again, all this is being, that word needs to be taken very seriously. It's proposed. It's always going to be developed and tweaked and looked at to see how we can make it better. But the current plan is to have 8 hardcourt basketball courts that could convert to 16 regulation volleyball courts. There will also be a championship court with a couple thousand seats for high-profile games. There will be a sports performance training center. There will be esports. There will also be able to accommodate nat sports such as wrestling, etc., and even cheerleading and dance. So it's a very diversified indoor facility that year-round will be about 72, 73 degrees, which I understand plays well in certain months. While the programming of this facility does mainly attract outdoor and indoor travelers, the programming will mainly be on the weekends for those aspects. So it should not be lost that this facility, primarily from a Sunday night through Thursday play, is a quality of life enhancement. That facility will be here to be used. It will be here to be used by local leagues, clinics, camps, rentals of teams, etc., to enjoy this wonderful asset, primarily paid for from an ongoing operation standpoint by those who are traveling in town. So this will be quite a quality of life enhancement. Excellent. From a traveler standpoint, we're estimating that about in all the different sports and the different combinations we can run outside, we'll bring in about 90,000 visitors for the outdoor functions, and we'll bring in about 80,000 for the indoor activities that we'll hold inside the facility. And then using my high-level public education, that adds up to about 175,000 visits a year. That can translate to about 60,000 room nights. And there's some folks here that will discuss tonight what that means to the impact economically to this community. So, kind of sum it up, talk about the facility. As Troy said, all of this is on BAYOUPhoenix.com. There's a great deal of specificity in here about what we will be offering. The national customer is looking for the, for big, for all-encompassing and total experience. But you guys are going to have a ton of time and a ton of assets to be able to use for your community and for your kids. So it's New Orleans. You're all going to be, this is going to be stunning for you all, stunning for the sports community, and on a national stage, make it a destination for youth, recreational, and athletic sports.
So again, if you have any questions about sports and recreation, just scan the QR code on the screen or on the poster and access it and submit your comment or your response. And also, I know there's local media, I know you guys are working on a deadline. If there is anyone here that you would like to speak to or interview, any of our experts, you can access the door to my right and get any of our experts that you may want to speak with. This is my favorite part of the whole concept out here. It's the Hotel, Family Entertainment Center, and Water Park. It's my favorite part of it. And we will hear from David Sangre. Okay.
First.
Okay.
So you can, if you've gotten that link, you can say do you like the idea of a youth complex in the area? So you can go ahead and vote. And also, can they also fill out cards if they don't feel comfortable?
Anyone needs a card?
If you need cards, raise your hand.
Raise your hand.
And someone will come with a card for you to fill out. So I see someone here, over here.
Do you like the idea of a youth complex in the area? Let's get a voice vote on that. Let's get a voice vote. All right, move on. Okay.
All in favor, say aye.
Ayes have it. Right, Green? You guys ready?
Oh, we have another question. How do you like the design and components of the youth sports complex on a scale from 1 to 10? So, how many people here say 10?
Okay. As I was saying earlier, this is my favorite part, the Hotel, Family Entertainment Center, and Water Park. And we're going to hear from David Sangre. He's the president of Hotel and Leisure Advisors. David is no slouch either. He's an expert in hospitality and leisure fields. We're talking about hotels, resorts, water parks, amusement parks, conference centers, ski resorts, casinos, and golf courses. So he's the man. David, give him a round of applause.
Hello, and welcome everyone. Hotel Leisure Advisors, we are a feasibility study and appraisal firm. We have offices in Ohio and Texas, and we travel around the country doing these types of studies for a wide range of projects, including water park resorts and hotels and all kinds of other resort type developments. So today we're going to be talking about the feasibility study that we were commissioned to do in 2022, or just about a year ago. Oh, thank you. We were commissioned to do about a year ago. And in this study, we did a pretty detailed analysis of New Orleans and this specific Six Flags, the former Six Flags site, concerning the potential development of an indoor water park resort that would also include an outdoor water park and family entertainment center. So those were the components we studied, and we got to review the sports study that was done separately that you just heard about. So our study, when we do a big resort study like this, we're really looking at what is available for tourists in your area and looking at comparable properties around the country that might be somewhat similar to your location and what type of performance are they achieving. So we did interviews with the local Convention and Visitor Bureau and determined what type of the tourism base exists in New Orleans and how this site used to work as an amusement park and what kind of demand worked there. We interviewed managers of hotels, both locally in New Orleans as well as of other indoor water park resorts from throughout the country. And we collected quite a bit of demographic and financial data concerning the local area, the regional area, and indoor water park resorts in general. So the conclusion of the study was to do a detailed financial analysis. So I'm a CPA and I'm a financial guy, and we came up with a detailed set of financial projections that were then used to do a valuation of the project to determine how much money would the project be worth, and that also helps determine what kind of development budget can be achieved. Next slide. So the subject site, you all live here, so you know quite well where it is. But of course, we were from out of town when we came to see it. And it's this former amusement park, which right now has a very eerie feel to it because it feels like it's been abandoned for so long. But from a potential development point of view, it actually has a lot of positives because it has excellent freeway accessibility. It's a large site of land that any developer working here needs to think big. They can't just do some small little development here and expect it to work. They need to think big here and think, how can we create an attraction that is going to be getting news press and all over the country to say, hey, there's something really special here in New Orleans to come visit. And I think the development that Mr. Henry's firm has come up with meets that criteria, because he really is planning a number of different projects to make this as a real tourist destination. And that is, in my opinion, that's a critical positive here. If he was thinking just a very small hotel with just a few water slides, I would have some more questions about whether this could work. But because he's thinking big, he's really wanting to build a lot of major attractions, there's a lot of potential. Most people going to New Orleans today go downtown or the French Quarter. Those are the major places to visit. But what is being proposed here at this site is enough that it could definitely attract people who would either have not come to New Orleans before or are going to come and stay here and maybe just visit the downtown attractions on the side. So this might become the place they're going to stay. Next slide. So we did a very detailed look at the demographics, at the population, the households, the income levels, the employment, and the tourist visitation to New Orleans. Did you know there were 19 million visitors to New Orleans in 2019, the year before COVID? So that's a lot of visitors that are coming to New Orleans. Now, are they coming to this area right now? Probably not, because there's not that much for tourists to do in this area, because honestly the site is, it's abandoned. But the potential exists if again a major development were here that they might come. So what we looked at is the center of water park resorts, the kind of the epicenter of water park resorts is in Wisconsin Dells, Wisconsin. And the second place that they have come to be popular is in Sandusky, Ohio. So we looked at, in each of these locations, how many people live there, how many water parks are there, and what is the ratio of water parks to people. So in the New Orleans area, within a 180-mile ring of it, that's about a 3-hour drive, there are 8,178 households per indoor water park hotel room. And there is one indoor water park resort that you can drive to from New Orleans within a 3-hour drive, and that just opened last year near Gulf Shores, Alabama at OWA, O-W-A. In Wisconsin Dells, there are 32 indoor water park resorts, and in Sandusky, Ohio, there are 8. So New Orleans has the least amount of supply of this type of a product of any part of the country. And in our opinion, that says, many of you probably have never been to an indoor water park resort just because you can't really go to one. I mean, it's a longer drive to get there. So you have to go all the way to Texas, or now this new one is open in OWA, but it's still, it's not, nearby. So these are very popular with families with young children, and with the sports complex that's proposed, it's going to attract families with kids of all ages. And people do travel because it's really a guaranteed vacation for families because kids love going to them, because kids love water. And next slide. So as part of our study, we came up with a set of recommendations for the facility. And some of these were what Troy had already proposed, and others were our recommendations to try to improve the facility. And they included a 300-room resort-style hotel, like a Great Wolf Lodge. That's kind of the leading brand in this industry. And secondly would be a 100-room, lower-priced hotel that might be like a Fairfield Inn, or a Spring Hill Suites, or a Home2 Suites branded hotel. So that there would be 2 price points in the property, one more expensive and one less expensive. The facility would also include meeting space, restaurants, next slide, the indoor and outdoor water park, cabanas, retail, a large family entertainment center with an arcade and various activities, a spa, and other amenities that guests would enjoy. Next slide. So this map shows just what I was referring to earlier as to what is the available supply of these indoor water park resorts. And you can see that there's really just the one that's within an easy drive. Basically, you'd have to go to Dallas or to Round Rock, Texas, or to near Atlanta to find a real competitor to what's being proposed here. Next slide. So this is a grouping of competitive hotels that we visited and studied. And these hotels are all indoor water park resorts of the caliber that is being proposed here, of different levels. Some have more meeting space, some have bigger water parks, others have smaller water parks. But you can see from this chart that these hotels achieve relatively strong occupancy levels, ranging anywhere from the 50% range up to the 80% range, and average daily rates ranging from $150 up to over $300 ADR. So those are strong numbers for hotels. And this property, it would not be cheap to visit. It is a bit expensive to visit because the room rate includes usage of the water park. So the reason travelers come here is because you get the water park included for free. And that's a big, but then of course your room rate is a bit expensive. So it's it's not a discount vacation, but it is a quality vacation because it includes usage of the water park. Next slide. So this grouping of hotels I went over achieved, and these are the historical occupancies of this group. And you can see that before COVID, they were averaging between 68% and 76% occupancy. Those are very strong numbers for the hotel industry. In fact, those numbers exceed the national average. So that's because families love going to these places. So even though they're a bit expensive, families love going and they do go back multiple times a year. And now since COVID did impact the hotel industry a lot, but things are coming back. Next slide. So this chart shows our projections of performance for this proposed hotel. And we're projecting a stabilized occupancy level of 74% for this 400-room property with the 2 hotels. And that will be made up of a small amount of commercial or business travelers who might use the franchise hotel, as well as a number of groups who would be both sports groups as well as corporate groups and associations. And mostly family leisure travelers who would be grandparents or parents with their children coming here for a fun weekend or a fun vacation. Next slide. So then we looked at what is the prices this property is going to charge. And we're forecasting an average daily rate of $265 in 2025 dollars. Now we've learned today that maybe the hotel is not going to open in 2025, it may be a year or 2 later, but our rates then might be slightly higher. But what you see in this chart is that the groups and the commercial people would pay a lower rate, while the leisure people would pay a higher rate. Next slide. And then the water park itself is kind of the main leisure attraction here. And this is going to attract more people in the summer when the outdoor component is open. So I think a lot of people from New Orleans in general might come here just for the day. They may not necessarily stay overnight. While the indoor portion will be primarily for the hotel guests, but it will take a small number of day passes when it's open, but its size won't allow a huge number of day passes. But we're forecasting about 400,000 visitors to the water park in the second year, and we think it's going to have a lot of potential. Next slide. And in conclusion, we then took our financial projections and we applied evaluation metrics to it using the income capitalization approach and a discount rate of 11% and a capitalization rate of 9%. And we came up with an as-completed value of $196 million. So what this tells you is that as a developer, this just gives the developer an idea as to about what investment could be put into this project, and this gives a possible number for it. In our opinion, this project has a real potential for feasibility, but it will all depend, of course, on the ending development budget and how much it costs and how much incentives they may receive. So thank you so much for the chance to talk to you, and thank you.
I understand you all are having trouble with the Wi-Fi. Franklin Avenue Baptist Church guest, FABC guest, and the password lowercase FABC 8988.
Right there on the screen. How many people here want to hear about the water park plans? Well, we've got just the man to tell us about that. Neil Walsh is the managing director of Murphy's Waves, which is recognized as the world leaders in the design and development of water parks and water park attractions. The company, which was founded in 1994 in Scotland, has been involved in some of the world's most iconic water park projects, working with companies like Universal Studios, Disney, and Atlantis Resorts, developing some of the most prestigious water parks and resorts around the world. Please welcome Neil Walsh.
Good evening. First of all, thank you very much for welcoming us back to your wonderful city. It's a real pleasure to be back in New Orleans, or should I say New Orleans East. And an honour to be part of this fabulous project. Thank you all for being here this evening, to participate in this event, to listen to our plans, and most importantly, to share your feedback with us. More than anyone, this development is for the people of this city, and your participation in events like this is crucial in helping the development team to ensure that we meet your expectations in the design and implementation of the project. My name is Neil Walsh, and I'm the Project Director for Murphy's Waves Limited. Murphy's Waves are a Scottish-based company specialising in the design and development of water parks and water park attractions. Our team is providing project consultancy, concept design and master planning services for the indoor and outdoor water parks. We're also a manufacturing company specialising in the design and manufacture of wave machines, surfing simulators and action rivers. Together with our industry partners, we will provide a turnkey approach, providing options and solutions for all of the main elements required of a successful modern water park. Next slide, please. Our company has delivered over 500 projects in the last 30 years, working with some of the biggest companies in the leisure and entertainment industry, including Universal Studios, Disney, Great Wolf Lodge, Kalahari Resorts, and many, many more. We're a truly global company, completing award-winning projects in every corner of the world, and this experience allows us to analyse, create, and implement the latest industry trends, ensuring that your water park benefits from the latest design principles and technologies. When we first met the BAYOU Phoenix team, the thing that impressed us most was their vision. Next slide, please. A vision to create world-class development, not just for the water park, but the sports complex, studios, hotels, retail, and all other areas. We share this vision, next slide please, and our goal is to create and develop a world-class water park resort, combining iconic attractions and a modern, inclusive design approach that will bring together families and friends for a truly unforgettable experience. Next slide please. This evening we've prepared a fly-through presentation for you which showcases our latest concept design and will hopefully give you a feel for the kind of iconic attractions that we're proposing for your water park. Many of these will be the first of their kind in the US and some may even be world firsts. Before we see the fly-through, I'd first like to walk you through some of the kind of main points of the concept plan. So indoors you're going to have a selection of attractions that make up most successful water parks. We'll have a wave pool, shallow water, great for families, great for kids, a place where mums and dads will hang out and kids will have fun. We'll have an indoor river with some various attractions in it. More and more now, rivers are more than just a lazy river where you can bob up and down. People want more excitement, they want more energy, and so we'll design an action river for you that has various different attractions and experiences. There'll be water slides, there'll be kids' play structures and kids' water toys. Outdoors, you'll see some of the iconic attractions that I touched on. So the main wave pool will be around 80,000 square feet. This will be the heart of the outdoor water park, a place where families will hang out, mums and dads will grab a cabana, and kids will run off to play. The water park, the wave machine that we are proposing for the wave pool is capable of creating a variety of different dynamic wave effects up to 10 feet high, all at the flick of a switch. They can be lowered too, don't worry. One of the other areas I really like, one of my favourite areas of this design is the kids' water park, or kids' water area. So we describe this often as a water park within the water park. This is an area we specifically designed for small children. It contains all of the elements of the larger water park, but in miniature. So you'll have a mini wave pool, maybe a mini river, you'll have mini water slides for children, all small and safe, shallow water. You'll have water toys as well. You'll maybe see down in the corner, you'll see it in the videos, we'll have a surfing attraction. A surfing attraction is something that maybe the operations team will want to keep open in the evening, where guests can continue to play, the food and beverage associated with it. Now this particular attraction will be the first of its kind in the US. It will be a full 180-degree surfing attraction, a very iconic attraction that people again will gather around to watch as their loved ones surf. We'll have an action river, a long winding river with different experiences around every corner, different wave effects, river rapids, different waterfall curtains, etc. High capacity areas with multiple beach entries, allowing guests to get in and out the river and access different areas of the water park. There'll be multiple slide complexes, family slide complexes, inner tube complexes, and body slides, the iconic slides you'll be able to see from the freeway, all of which need to be designed and developed. Again, many of these may be firsts in the US or even in the world. So we hope very much that you share our excitement, enjoy our fly-through presentation, and afterwards we'll be happy to hear any questions or comments you might have. Thank you very much.
This should have been done yesterday. Huh? This should have been a couple years ago. This is amazing. This is amazing. I remember Jazzland. Folks were passing out because we didn't have any sprinkler systems. You remember that? When they first opened Jazzland? You remember that? It was like 100 degrees out there. Now we got water, no shade, right? No shade. We got water everywhere. That's awesome. That's awesome. Okay, so let us know how you feel about this. You know the routine. Scan your QR code and let us know how you feel about it. First question: do you like the idea of a hotel and water park in the area? Let us know. And how likely are you to patronize the hotel, water park, or arcade?
Well, I can say from Neil Walsh's lips to God's ear, we won this. Yes.